So we good to go then?
Yeah, I've been ready.
Right. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Zach Young, and I'm joined by me is the Jimmy Olsen to my Clark Kent, the Lois Lane to my Perry White, and the John Henry Irons to my Hank Henshaw. Would you rather be Perry White?
I don't know who any of those people were. I know John Henry Irons.
And you know Lois Lane.
Am I not Lois Lane?
I called you Lois Lane because Perry White is the editor at the Daily Planet. So essentially, he's Lois's boss. If you want to switch those, we can. And then Jimmy Olsen is Clark Kent's best friend.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Okay. But most importantly, he's the Kaiju commander to my Captain Comics. Tanner Bass as always.
Good morning to the people of the nation. It's your boy, Albino Ray Allen from 3. You know what it is. What's going on, everybody?
And with us on this side and Techie on the other, this is the Kaiju and Comics podcast where we talk about anything else. We're going to roll into the news real quick. Some sad news here. Literally, I found out just a few hours before recording that director Richard Donner has passed away. For those who don't know, you've probably seen something that Richard Donner has directed if you like old school movies or stuff like that. Most notably, he had directed Lethal Weapon and The Goonies, and most importantly to us, the original Christopher Reeve Superman movie. We just want to take this time to dedicate this episode to Richard Donner and his legacy. Thank you for showing us that a man can fly. So do we have any other news for this morning?
I never come with any news. I do have news.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'll give you a little bit.
Okay.
We'll take it to downtown since I'm in the whole Ray Allen fit today.
Okay.
This actually fits. I didn't even realize how well this fit. The Milwaukee Bucks have made the finals for the first time since, I want to say, 1972 with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They're finally back in the finals. It's been 50-some years. The Suns are back in it. It's been the first time since 92 with Charles Barkley. It's the first time it's going to be like the first time since like 2000 and I want to say 7 or 8 that it's been a finals without LeBron in it. Excluding 2019 when he was in LA and they were bad. But LeBron or Stephen Curry, we can say that. And it's looking really good. One of my guys, Chris Paul's on the Suns. He's one of my favorite players. He's finally, after his long career, gotten to the finals to finally have a chance at winning it. I think they will because Milwaukee's best player is injured. But it's a significant finals. I think it's going to be really good. If Giannis Antetokounmpo, the best player on the Bucks, can come back healthy, it's going to be a very good finals. If not, the Suns are going to run away with it. I pick Suns in 4. For anybody who doesn't know, the playoffs in the NBA, it's a best-of-7 series, and I think the Suns will win all 4 games. I don't think the Bucks will get a game, but that's just my opinion. I also love Chris Paul, so that's important. And I think the first finals game is, when this comes out, it won't matter. So, but yeah, there it is. A little bit of NBA history.
Yeah, I mean, very slow news week, so it's easy to throw some sports in there and also talk about some gossip.
This bull. Hi, I'm your host.
Genuine.
Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news. This week, Tom Holland is seen with Zendaya in a car kissing? ? Check out next week where I'll keep you up with all the stories. All right, there you go.
That is my favorite way you could have done it because I don't like doing gossip stuff like that, but there's literally been, besides the thing we talked about at the beginning, that's the only relevant comic book anything that's happened. So
I want to talk about it. There's one other thing I could talk about. Marvel Future Revolution, their attempt at a MMO, soft release for Canada. It's on mobile. And I know that mobile turns a lot of people off to a lot.
Yes.
I'm a mobile gamer because I play Marvel Future Fight. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite games because I just think it's really good. It looks really good. Like, obviously it's free to play, so it's going to have those things. But from what I've seen, follow a channel, Cynical Alex. Go watch him if you end up caring about this now that you know about it. It looks just really good and it interesting and does this multiverse thing and it's very, very cool and it looks not ridiculously against the free-to-play player. Like, obviously, if you pay, it'll be easier experience, but it's not like one of those. And this is what he says in his video. And he's from Canada, so he's been playing. It's not where you get to a point and it's so hard to progress if you don't pay. So, and it looks good. The graphics look good. Yeah, it looks interesting.
The interesting thing about mobile gaming to me is that phones have the capabilities of something like a Nintendo Switch, and I don't think it's always a player side thing that mobile gaming is the way it is. It's a developer side. But then you get something like a Future Fight or this, what's it called? I don't remember.
Marvel Future Revolution.
Future Revolution that really tries to take control of the fact that these phones are more advanced than the first space shuttles. Like
they're very. It looks very good. I'm excited. I can't wait for it to drop in the US. It's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna run through my dailies on Future Fight, and then I'll play that.
Yeah, and I'm definitely will give it a download and play it when it comes out as well. You make sure you tell me.
We like raid together. Like there's like actual like full blown dungeons. Yeah, it's
like
no, like I'm serious. Like
a Marvel superhero dungeon crawl. I'm into that.
Like it's actually sick. Like I'm like, and then like there's just worlds, right? Yeah. So there's like these hub worlds you can just go into, and there's just mini bosses. Like there will be Ultron Mark IV or Mark D, which is the original one from the MCU, where he walks out at the middle of the party. That one just like roams about the map or something. It might be that, or it might be a spider basic enemy. I'm not sure. But like there's Kingpin that just spawns on the map after you kill so many enemies. Like these major things. You go to Sakaar and there's Maestro and all kinds of other, like it's sick. Like it's actually.
That sounds really cool.
I'm excited about it.
Do we have a release date on it? Do you know?
The App Store says September 20th.
Okay.
Or 30th. But we also, like I told you, the other day when it soft dropped, nobody knew it was soft dropping until 15 hours before it soft dropped.
So it might just happen and no one will know.
It said the latest would be September 30th. So we could get it any week now.
Okay.
Because from what I've seen, it looks pretty polished. I'm sure they're doing it in Canada just to get bugs out, obvious bugs.
Some beta testing.
Yeah, but
you let me know when it drops.
But that's the thing, like beta testing, but it's not beta testing.
Yeah.
Like this game looks very complete. Like there's nothing ridiculous. I'm excited. I will let you know when it comes out. We will play.
Absolutely.
It looks sick.
I'll clear space on my phone.
I got a tablet.
I might have to get one for this, but
I'm excited. I took everything else off my tablet. It's just Future Fight.
It's just ready.
I am already I'm
prepped.
Make sure you pre-register. You get special bonuses for pre-register.
Okay. All right. I'll add it to the to-do list.
Make sure you do that. You know, we love these bonuses.
Since we got this, I want to pose a question. Now, I saw this on Twitter.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a segment we throw in if we don't have a lot of news. Just a random question that Zach found on Twitter.
Okay, hit me.
So, this was a question about the MCU and Iron Man franchise characters in the MCU. And it was basically are you against the idea of James Rhodes taking over the Iron Man mantle in Armor Wars, the TV show that'll be coming out in a few years?
No, why would I have a problem with that?
I don't know. Someone just said it because no one's really talking about that idea of him taking over the mantle because he did have it in the comics at one point.
I get this, yeah, but like, what's the point of? I don't know. I'm still stuck on that kid at the funeral. Like, what's the point in having him around and being there if he's not going to be relevant? But I guess if you just look at it for face value, like, it makes sense that kid would be there. Tony Stark changed that kid's life, basically.
Yeah, it's something that Marvel Studios has seemed to have been doing in the past few years with their stuff, is making you think about past movies again. Like, WandaVision made you think about Age of Ultron a bit. Falcon and Winter Soldier made you think about the Winter Soldier. So, like, throwing something like that in, I remember all the articles coming out at the end of Endgame saying, oh, yeah, this you want to know who this kid is? And now you're back at Iron Man 3.
Well, now, bringing up the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? Would they do that again?
That's what the mainland question is.
Are they going to do where they just give the black side character the mantle again? Nothing about him being black, just... It may be spun that way. I have no problem with it. I love Anthony Mackie. I love Don Cheadle. They're two of my favorite actors. So it's just, would they do that exact same formula? Like, because that's one of Marvel's biggest criticisms, right? Where they have the formula.
Yeah.
Is this going to be our formula where we just take the side character, give them the main, like...
And I think that's what makes the question interesting, is
I have no problem
we just did that.
because I love Don Cheadle.
Yeah, and I want to see him continue to exist in this universe.
It would be cool to get more War Machine stuff, because I feel, now this could just be my lack of comic knowledge, we don't get a lot of War Machine.
I can't tell you things that War Machine has done in the comics either.
It would
I
be
also
cool
can't
to
tell
just
you anything that Rescue has done in the comics. I can't tell you what any ironclad superhero has done in the comics besides Iron Man and Iron Patriot.
I'm gonna say, yeah, it'd be cool to get a little bit more on War Machine.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you knew this. Did you know that in the original Capcom Cross Marvel, the fighting game, that War Machine made it and Iron Man didn't?
I didn't. I just would have assumed that they would have been cross skins or something.
No, well, no. You gotta remember, this is old school. This is like This is old school. These were arcade cabinets. These were old school.
Oh, the arcade cabinet games.
It's the first Marvel versus Capcom, but like this is old school games. We weren't doing. They weren't doing a lot back then. But I didn't realize that until I went and I was watching stuff about just Marvel and Capcom and stuff, and I was like, that's really neat. I didn't know that War Machine made it over.
It's weird because I was combing through those rosters the one day and I didn't see it.
Yeah, War Machine was in it. Cap wasn't. I was like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I wonder if that was like them trying to push a diversity in that game or something. Like they didn't.
Zach, this is old heads.
I know.
Do not think that was. No, Zach, this is old. This is. I'll look it up right now.
Give me a year.
Because Marvel vs. the original Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
I'm not saying pre-2000, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was. 98. I was on the
98. Oh God, as old as me.
Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. Yeah. There's War Machine right there. No, Iron Man.
And it's labeled as War Machine in the game. I trust you if you say that it is.
It most definitely is. Yeah, 98.
Huh.
What, no? But yeah.
Was Tony dead at the time? I got nothing.
You got to remember, these are not comic.
But
they don't care about the comic relevance in these games.
Well, they don't, but sometimes if Marvel is trying to push, if the comics are trying to push a certain character over another one, say Tony is dead or Tony stopped being Iron Man, and they're trying to push War Machine up to the front of it.
Show me a point where that happens at all, like pre-2000, and because of another media that isn't just comics.
Okay, comics didn't get a lot of things to show it with.
That's what I'm saying.
But you would have it with
what?
There's a Superman example that I don't remember.
Okay, show me a point where Marvel did it.
No, they do it all. They do these things all the time.
Now they
do it with.
I'm saying now they do, but not in 1998. Also, a thing about this, relating to this, you were when you guys were talking about Wanda, Loki, and Doctor Strange in the Loki thing. You were like, well, yeah, they've had Loki took the Sorcerer Supreme from Doctor Strange. That happened years before any of this that they're doing now in the MCU, and I do not think it's related.
They did it. They might have done it before as well. Loki being Sorcerer Supreme was a Kate's Doctor Strange run.
Which is when?
Within the past 10 years.
Oh, okay, still.
Like, it might have happened again as well. That could still be what they're doing. They pulled Infinity Gauntlet out as an Infinity War, not adaptation inspiration. Like,
yes, because that's one of the biggest Marvel
It
comics.
can be anything pulling from it. We might be pulling from a President Loki storyline as far as a preview on it.
Now, but I just don't think those two are related when you said that. I was like, that's kind of...
Well, I said it off of him saying something because he said.
So now we're blaming Dane.
Well, I love Dane. I still will defend.
Dane was going nuts. Dane was trying.
I still defend that Dane has a point, but
of what?
That that Loki's going to be involved in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah,
he's clearly causing the multiverse.
It's very obvious.
And I was just bringing up times that Doctor Strange and Loki have been at odds.
I just didn't think those are related at all.
I don't see why.
When it happened in the comics and that they're doing it now, I think it happened a while ago. I just don't think they did that because they're going to do this.
They still could be. We were theorizing. It wasn't about what they're going to do. It's what they could do. I also said that Kang is going to be appearing in every MCU movie in this phase. That's almost definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, we were going off. I was just like,
but we also have the results from Loki 4 in our heads now, from episode 4 in our heads now. So
that's a whole thing. That was something.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
You see where James and the giant peach was rolling down the hill?
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
That was crazy.
This timeline stuff
And
is getting a bit out
Superman
there.
was fighting Goku. That
Yeah.
was nuts. That was a crazy way to kill a universe.
Yeah.
Imagine hiding in that apocalypse.
Damn, Disney owns everything.
That would be nuts.
All right, you want to head into the content consumption corner?
Yeah, sure. You can go first.
Okay. I have a very quick one-issue comic. I've been playing with bringing... So this one-issue story appears in the back of a trade. There's a trade that has 6 issues for... was originally going to do the big 5-issue story, but I don't want to spend more than one episode on it. So while working to condense it down to one episode, I'm not there yet, but I can do the story in the very back because it's kind of fun.
Okay.
It's superheroes trying to do an escape room. And this is where he hates me.
I'm going to say we just melt the door. We walk through.
Well, so this is the
so
reason.
the powers are dampened.
So, no, actually. But,
I'd still.
so to give backstory on it, this is actually a Captain Marvel story.
Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel?
No Captain Marvel. I said what I said. This is why I don't want to spend multiple episodes on the long storyline, because I won't be able to get them for that. She's hosting a poker night. It's like Wolverine is there, Monica Rambeau is there, and then Kamala shows up.
A poker night.
Yeah.
That's the most her thing I think of.
It really
I could
is.
Think of, yeah.
So Kamala shows up, and she's being her wonderful self. So excited she got invited to a superhero game night.
Oh, that makes sense.
Kamala can't gamble because under 18, and
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, she can't gamble. So there's this weird. She also brought like armfuls of board games because Kamala Khan is
Just want to show the irony of I can save the planet and I can save cities, but I'm not allowed to gamble my own money. Ain't that a bunch of bull?
morals, mate. I don't know.
Morals? I'm saving the city.
It gets me every time.
I was like, what are you talking about morals?
It's
What about gambling is moral based?
the point of that is to where if you have this is where I have to tiptoe around religion, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
That's
I
what-
completely
yeah.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd
you're
be
right.
like eating pork.
Yep, I got you. I didn't even think about her.
Yeah.
I see, because I see everything.
But that's fine. I
Everything
think
clearly, man.
yeah, as long as you recognize it.
Yeah,
there,
now that I
think it's
realize
fine.
what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking just
No,
moral,
I didn't mean-
moral based
yeah.
in general. I'm like,
No. Yeah,
but, yeah, I got what you're saying.
yeah. Just she's a joy because she's excited because she hadn't seen Carol was off doing something in space. I've only read this one Captain Marvel story, and they were just like, well, we don't want to make Kamala leave, so you have an idea? And Kamala says, I have an idea, and we go to an escape room. Now Kamala
Have you ever done an
starts-
escape room?
I have. It's an experience.
How'd you do?
I think we did okay. It was a pirate-themed escape room. It was kind of
I
up
am
my alley.
not shocked.
I didn't even choose it. I think Techie was with us when we did the escape
I
room.
think that is a lie.
It was us, our friend that we are no longer friends with anymore,
I don't have to bleep it if he doesn't say a name.
Air out the dirty
Yeah.
laundry.
and no.
Wait, who are we talking about? Are we talking about?
Yes, I still have it.
No.
I think the picture of us three in the escape room is still up on my Facebook.
It was
as one of my
It was
featured
with my
photos.
sister as well. We had so much fun that night.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I loved
Yeah.
doing the escape
Yeah.
room.
It's hard to remember, the fun times before I arrived. I
Of
know
course.
it's got to be a long time ago.
Love it.
Okay, yeah. So they're doing an escape room.
Yep. So Kamala's just like, I was able to get us in because we're superheroes. We're famous here. But this guy called the Nexus. Now here's the thing about the Nexus. He's basically an online commenter gatekeeper who specifically doesn't like female heroes because he doesn't think that they're strong enough. Not like how I joke about how you don't like female heroes. Like is straight up
I felt
like
like felt
in
it coming.
in his like because they show him commenting on something. He's just straight up being a misogynist. So again, we have the full roster of heroes. There's 5. There's Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel Kamala Khan, Wolverine, and Hazard. I don't know if you know about
I
Hazard.
know about Hazard.
When she gets stressed out, she gets
Yeah.
radioactive. But
Why is Wolverine there?
for comic relief, because Wolverine tries to leave multiple times into what is one of my favorite jokes from this book. And again, single issue story. Wolverine tries to leave, and Captain Marvel says, no, you said you were free the whole night, and pulls him back, and Logan just goes, should have said I had a wife. It's the perfect excuse. My wife needs me. My wife is sick. And it just...
I loved him.
So they go into the escape room, the Nexus meets him. They go into the escape room. He closes the door. He gives him the timer or whatever. And they agree. We shouldn't use our powers for this because it'd be unfair. And Luke is just like, might not want to do that. And Carol's like, why? And he's just like, goes and sniffs a pillar. That's adamantium. It's
Adamantium. Vibranium?
It's vibranium. It's specifically Antarctic vibranium, which is stronger than adamantium. And they're like, So they try to open the door. Door's locked. Room starts filling with water. They can't break anything. They try using their powers separately. Carol tries to blast something. The photon blast goes around the room.
Minks around.
Hazard's getting stressed out, so she's trying to get radioactive. Wolverine can't slash anything. Monica tries to phase out the door and open it, but she can't become solid outside for some reason. They never explain it, but it's a dumb story, so it's fine. She comes back in. Kamala has the great idea that if it's because they're not working together, because that's what the escape rooms are meant to be. You're supposed to work together. So they hatch a plan. Kamala's going to turn into a shield to keep stuff from hitting Hazard so she can calm down. Wolverine's going to add extra protection on that. And then Monica, Captain Marvel, and there might have been a sixth character that I don't remember, are going to blast the door with enough power to blow it off its hinges. They do it. Door opens. Hazard gets arrested. And he's just kind of like, well, you guys are playing as stupid superheroes. And this is where they flip it, because in reality, he just wants attention. Because then Carol walks up to him and is just like, all right, take him to the raft. And he's just like, the raft? She's like, yeah. You managed to catch 6 superheroes and had us fighting for our life. You're going to the raft. And he's just like, I don't know why stuff like that makes it so funny to me. And then there's a sweet moment. Kamala apologizes for kind of causing all this. And Carol's just like, no, I'm sorry I didn't think about the fact that I was inviting you to a poker night. It's just been so long since I see you. They hug and whatever. And then it's just like, well, it's still kind of early. And Carol's like, well, yeah, actually I have an idea. Kamala, if your curfew is still a few hours off, I think of something else we can do. And we cut to a trivia game night where the answer to the trivia question, we don't know the trivia question, is Captain America's butt. I don't know what the question was. I just felt the need to add that in. And the point is given to the Marvels, which is the team name for them. And that's the end of the issue. That's the whole issue. It's a short story made to make you laugh, to fill up a space between storylines. The overall story is actually, the 5-issue story is actually really good. I'm going to figure out how to do it in one sitting, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get you for more than one episode on that when we get to it. But
if you could show me a good Captain Marvel story, I'll sit down and I'll listen to it.
I do think that, so the story is called The Last Avenger. I do think that it's good, because I'd been hearing about it for a long time, and I finally just bought the trade digitally and read through it. And I was like, this is good. I like
a lot
how
of
we're
my
doing
hate
it here.
for that character only comes from Civil War 2, because I really enjoy Civil War.
That's absolutely fair.
And I think she just...
Civil War 2 is bad.
Just think she sucks in that. And
again, there's no bad characters, only bad writing.
That's why a couple weeks ago when I said I don't hate her as Miss Marvel, but as Captain Marvel I can't stand her, because she's Captain Marvel in that issue. Before that, I really didn't have a problem with her. She was... I don't want to say she was good, but she was all right. I never had a problem with it. But now I'm like, I really don't ever want to see you. She really
I understand.
Just annoys me.
I understand that feeling. The Last Avenger is kind of cool because she kind of is forced to play villain throughout most of it. So it's very interesting, and I'm working on condensing it down into a quick 20 to 30 minute conversation of just here's all the points for it. And when I do that, I'm bringing it because I think it's good.
I don't hate the Captain Marvel movie either.
Yeah, this is where
it's all right.
You know that dark Captain Marvel pop?
Yeah.
That's from this story, the Last Avenger story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's very good. And it also features the other Avengers in small roles, and they're all written good. Thor's a bit off, but that's because I'm used to Kate's Thor, and this is pre-Kate's Thor. So, but yeah, that's it. That's all I'm bringing. Just this quick issue. Thought it'd be fun because it is. It's very fun. There's something about superheroes in an escape room that just make me... Superheroes doing, little tasks and stuff just make me kind of happy in a way.
I love seeing superheroes do normal people things.
Yeah.
It's one of my guilty pleasures.
Yep. And this issue has Kamala in it, so, instant +1.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
So I'm under the impression that we're about to hear you yell and rant.
I'm going to get really upset. So
what?
My original plan was to bring The Boys Season 2 today.
Okay.
And everybody knows that I really like The Boys.
Yes.
Boys Season 2 was really good, and I want to talk about it. But I have been waiting for a while for the Godzilla anime to come out on Netflix.
Oh, no.
And it came out. I wish I could just say, and that's all I have to say about that. But it doesn't. That's too. I would feel like I've cheated everybody out of how bad this really was. And this could be a taste thing, and it could just be a me thing. I absolutely hated it. There was not one part that I found interesting. Everything sucked. There was not one point where I was intrigued. Right from the beginning, it doesn't. Nothing brings you in. There's no There's no nothing. So they decided that we're gonna do a Godzilla anime. We're gonna bring back Jet Jaguar. Cool, a character we haven't seen since the 70s. And it's a robot. You can do a lot with that now. With the just everything that we have. With you could take it from Gundam or Code Geass. All these different just animes. I'm not even talking about other type of media. And we could do Jet Jaguar and it'd be really cool. Shit, you can make it a Power Rangers thing. Let them more like a Voltron type of deal.
Yeah.
So we get this little dinky, stupid, absolutely dumb little robot. Oh my gosh, it's so horrible. Don't let me tell you how they massacred so many of my boys. I do give them. Before I go all negative on the show, let me give you the positives, and then I'm gonna come at you with everything that I absolutely despise. So we got to see Manda, which is an old kaiju. I can't remember its original movie, but it's in Final Wars. It's the opening kill for the UFC fighter, American Captain. He freezes it, and then he blows it up with a laser. It's cool. We got them back.
Okay.
Them is also another problem I have with this show. When I say them, meaning there's more than one. But I'll get to that later.
Okay.
The way... You're obviously not going to take it exactly from the movies and do them. The way that Godzilla looks and is designed is cool. Same deal with Anguirus makes an appearance. I like the way he looks. That's it. To be fair, that's 2 of the 6 monsters we get. We get this guy Salamanda. I can't remember how they said his name, or Salunga. I don't know. I think he's an original character because I don't remember him from anything. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find him. So I think it's an original character. He looked all right. It was kind of like Baragon if he was green, and it was different. And it was all right. He was all right. He doesn't look crazy. He looks like a generic demon monster. So that was okay. Now I'm gonna get to the bad because I think I've covered everything that I like that was good.
Okay.
We had multiple of these things. The premise is that there's an apocalypse. And that Godzilla is the apocalypse. Cool. A cool idea.
Yep.
Rodan is a pterodactyl. Pterodactyl sized. So it's just the size of just like a dinosaur. Like a small dinosaur. Do you know how big Rodan is supposed to be? Have you seen Godzilla, King of the Monsters?
No.
He's a huge bird, Zach. He busts out of a volcano. And then we just got 100 of them. They just came in stoves out of the sea. And he looks horrible. He literally just looks like a pterodactyl. It's awful. In the beginning, he's all red, which he's supposed to be the early version that they're going to evolve. And then he kind of looks like Rodan, only in color scheme. Like, it was like a spore monster, and you just copied the color and made it that. It made me so mad.
Shiny Rodan.
It being red, I think, calls back to Fire Rodan from one of the movies, which is cool, but the reference is cool, but he still looks horrible, so I'm upset about it. Jet Jaguar looks horrible. Absolutely atrocious. He's got this fat stomach. And I understand that Jet Jaguar literally is just supposed to be a copy of Ultraman, but we could have done something different than a fat, horrible looking... And I guess it fits the story where it's like, this is this guy's creation. He put all his money into it. But really... If you're going to bring back Jet Jaguar, make him look good. Interesting. So that was horrible. They do the Shin Godzilla thing. And I love Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla evolves throughout that movie. They make Godzilla evolve.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same people. I want to say I've heard that it's the same people who did Shin Godzilla, did this anime. And I don't know if that's true. no matter what, I didn't like it at all. I didn't want him to do it again. Like, Shin Godzilla's cool in that way. If we get another Shin Godzilla movie, that's fine. Let Godzilla continue to evolve. That's cool. I don't need it in my anime. We also have, it has the people that have the problem with Godzilla 2016, where there's a human plot and a monster plot. The thing is, when they give you the monster plot, it has no relevance to anything. Everything is, it feels all contingent on the human plot, which I'm going to tell you right now, it sucks. It gives us this compound thing, this red dust that comes with all the monsters, and they're trying to find a way to militarize the red dust to stop the monsters. They have this whole thing. Zach, there's a time travel plot in the show. We get things from the past that come into the future to tell us how to deal with things in the past. To deal with the apocalypse that's coming, we got it from 50 years ago. Zach, it's horrible. It's so bad. And, oh my gosh, all the characters suck. There's not a single character that has any type of personality. Like, nobody, I don't know who wrote these characters. They suck. They have the old guy who's supposed to be the comedy relief. He's not funny at all. Never says a single funny thing, whether you watch it in Japanese or you watch it in English. The dub is bad. It doesn't even, like, obviously I don't speak Japanese, but it doesn't even, you don't even feel anything anybody says. Nobody has any backbone. There's never, and then they, like, try to do the menacing human characters. They all suck. All one note. Nobody has any kind of feeling, any kind of life in anything. We get, like, two main protagonists. It's the, one of the young kids at the factory that makes Jet Jaguar, and then this girl who does all the science things. She's just a genius, which is okay, whatever. It's so bad. I was so upset watching this show. There's not a single point where I'm like, oh, that was cool. Like, I just sat there for like 6 hours and just, oh. Zach, it's so bad. A cool thing that they did in the old Godzilla movies, when Manila goes to Godzilla's first son, goes to use his atomic breath, it comes out as a O, you know how when you smoke you can do smoke circles.
Yeah, smoke rings.
His comes out as just like a radioactive ring.
Okay.
One thing that Godzilla does earlier on in the show, he shoots an atomic ring before he gets his atomic breath.
Okay.
Which is really cool when
That's
it
a nice
goes.
callback.
That's the only time we get a big Rodan. We get it for Zach. We get him for 12 seconds. I watched it. I rewatched it and watched the bar go by as we got 12 seconds of a half a shot of a big Rodan, and that was it. The big ring hit him. He fought, and they're like, "Oh, we can't find the body," so we don't even get to see nothing. The other thing was the whole the Rodan. These creatures can't live on the above the ocean for too long because they get too hot and they fry themselves to death. So they keep coming back and they keep dying. They keep coming back and keep dying. The only ones that don't have that are Anguirus and that Salamanca, but he lives down in. He was doing stuff like it was so uninteresting that you don't care about what anything else was doing. And then when they kill Anguirus, right?
Yeah.
They actually kill him. And Jet Jaguar takes one of his spikes and puts it on a fucking stick. And then he has a spear. Zach, I haven't even got to the worst part. So we get to the final episode.
Okay.
We've been at this big supercomputer that's supposed to run this equation so they can put this equation in the bomb, turn all the red dust. It's like you shoot the bomb into the red dust and it makes the red dust solid. It makes it spikes and it's supposed to kill everything because it goes through it because they're surrounded in red dust. It's supposed to immobilize them at least. We see it done a couple of times in the show. We're trying to figure out the equation for this bomb. Once we figure it out, we can put it up there and we can get Godzilla. Come to find out that that's not the goal. It wasn't to find the thing for the bomb. And this AI that's a part of the show, one of the characters, the worst character. He's just annoying. He's supposed to be the annoying kitty character. And it's just this little AI that's a dog. It's horrible. And he goes through and he finds the equation by going into the past. And he finds this guy that they talk about the entire thing where he guessed this, he did this, he made this equation, blah, blah, blah. He grabs it. I had to watch the final episode 2 times because I shut it off. I got so upset at the end of the show. They're trying to, Jet Jaguar and the other main character are trying to get this bomb up to above Godzilla because that's where it's been predicted that they'll get their signal and they'll know how to blow the thing up.
Okay.
They fall. The dog AI finds the code. And then all we see is Godzilla is about to blow the main character away. He's got the beam, the rings lining up, and he's about to shoot the laser. We got the almost exact Shin Godzilla scene where he uses his breath. It's just a recreation. It's worse because it's animated, and it's not in real life like the Shin Godzilla one. And then he's about to blow him away. And then Jet Jaguar is now as big as Godzilla because he downloaded something that he got from the past. Godzilla is huge. He's bigger than buildings. Jet Jaguar might be 4 stories tall. He grows, Zach. He downloads an update and grows. He downloaded RAM, Zach. I was furious. I'm like, why do we care? Why do we do this like this? Why did we have to make it hinged on a human plot which is the human plot is literally the definition of science. There's nothing that you can follow along with because they go off of a material that doesn't exist, that can't be created, that only exists because this red dust is around. So it's not even like anything that you can follow. It's like they made Interstellar, but just that's the human plot. It's so confusing you can barely follow it, even if you're smart, like an intelligent human being.
Once you told me that they threw time travel into the mix, I just wasn't. I like time travel. I like time travel stuff. Only very few people can write time travel to where it's not confusing and terrible as hell, and that's only if it's the main plot. The minute that time travel is not your main plot, don't do it.
It's so bad.
Because it doesn't work.
It found the way they figure out that it's time travel is that there's some kind of binary code or some kind of code that it turns anything into a code. Like you could say sausage on a hot dog, and that becomes a code.
Yeah,
their texts. The 2 main characters text each other, and their text chain has been this code that they've had to figure out, and they didn't realize it till like this second to last episode, and it was guessed 50 years ago. And then there's 3 things left that haven't happened because it's in 4 days. It's like the dates and times of the messages and the message. So then they figure out in 4 days you're going to get a message, and that's going to be the thing for the bomb. It's horrible, Zach. Like, if we're going to do a Godzilla anime, first off,
Why does there need to be time travel?
Okay, yeah. You don't have to have 2 plots. You can literally make it about Godzilla.
Yeah.
We don't have to stick with that's what the anime movies got wrong, in my opinion. We were focused way too much in on the human stuff. You can just follow Godzilla in these. Yeah. Because you can make Godzilla interesting and you can make him do whatever. You can just have him terrorize Tokyo. We don't have to and then you can have him go. You could literally just do, in Godzilla 2000, there's the Godzilla Prediction Federation, where they monitor Godzilla and they figure out where he's going to go. You can just take that and flesh it out and then just have us follow Godzilla. You don't have to make the other monsters regular, like, human handleable size. Leave them as big as that. Let it just be Godzilla exploring the world, being around these other things. Like, we don't need 2 plots, especially one that's so science-based. That's so... it's just so bad, man. I was so disappointed in this show. I was ready for it. I saw that it dropped. I'm like, this is my Friday night. I don't have to worry about nothing. I'm going to watch this. And it was god awful. I was so mad. I'm still mad about it. And I hope it doesn't get a season 2. I hope... No, because even if I wanted Godzilla to do well, because I want to get more Godzilla stuff, I don't want this to do well. I want this to fail. I don't want a season 2 of this. I don't want them to think that this is okay.
Yeah.
Just give us Godzilla. That's all we need. You kind of figured it out in Godzilla vs. Kong. I know these are not related because they're not nearly about to... This is a Toho thing.
Yeah.
But they're not related. It's not...
Not really.
they're only
Toho should be paying attention to how Godzilla movies do with American audiences, but they're probably not.
Yeah, but it's like you can do it. Shin Godzilla was just made, man. And that now, any kaiju fan's gonna come at me right now. Yes, I had a human plot. Yes, I get it. Their human plot was so good because it was a commentary on a natural disaster that devastated Japan that was mishandled by the government, and it was basically just a not a misogyny. What am I looking at? What word am I searching for? Where you make fun of something.
Parody?
Yeah, it was a parody of how that situation was handled, and a satire on the government and how it was ran. It was like there's scenes in that where they're like, "Well, we have to have a meeting to discuss this," and they're in a meeting. We have to have a meeting to discuss this. So they all get up, they go to a different room and have a meeting. Like that type of stuff happens in that movie because it's a satire on the government, and that's why that movie is very, very good. It won awards. It won like best movie awards, not just like Michael Bay's Transformers where they get the CGI award. It was the best movie of the year. Like, I don't understand how we can have that and then this just make it interesting. Don't. As soon as you go a science way, you're alienating part of your audience because it's just so much to to handle, and this suffered from being a series and it just continuing to harp on the science stuff that nobody cares about. Also, I already said all the characters were written bad. I got one other thing. I don't know if there's different cuts of the show depending on where you're from. There's like no violence. There's no blood.
Oh.
Like, no. I mean on humans. On people, there's no... But you can see Godzilla attack a Rodan, and there's blood on it. Okay. Like, you could see... what's-his-face? Jet Jaguar hits some Rodan, there's blood. We never get to see any humans hurt by anything. So why do I care?
What's it rated?
I don't know. I don't remember checking. But that's what I'm saying. Why is a Godzilla... Say if the rating denies it. Why are we making the show then? A Godzilla show should never be G.
Well, I know that's what the difference is between like... And this doesn't fully defend them because the fact that they're not showing anything on the humans...
It's a religious apocalypse. How are we going to not make... That like, automatically... Like, we're going to get blood in him killing the monsters. All we get is, there's missing persons reports. Show me people dying. Show me the wreckage. Show me... That's what... It lacks... It lacks the epicness that should be in anything Godzilla.
Yeah, and you don't feel the stakes in anything.
In the Godzilla anime movies, you feel that epicness. One, because Godzilla is massive, and he just rules everything. Everything is Godzilla. You feel him. The screen shakes every time he's around. You can just hear it when he moves. The roar is so guttural. Everything about this sucks. But... a big but. They do the score. They do the dun 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 dun, and I believe it's a remix. It bangs. And then the when Godzilla shows up, do you know the dun 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 ba-da-da, and it was good. Those two the music that they use is good. The background, I guess you would call it the soundtrack, is good.
Yeah, the score.
But really, it's rare for you to mess up those.
Yeah.
They do it in the American Godzilla movies.
Oh, of course.
But those bang. They're sick.
That's fair.
But I think it's just because I think as a Godzilla fan, I just fanboy over that whenever that plays.
It's not like... It is just you, but it isn't just you. Like, as a Godzilla fan, you're going to go over that. Like, we... Yeah. Mentioned the original Superman movie earlier in this episode. That theme track will give me goosebumps every time, and I swear and I don't know if this was a Snyder thing or a Warner Brothers thing. I swear that's the only thing that isn't in the Man of Steel Superman movie that could have been a callback to that first movie, because he calls back a lot in that movie. We're not going to get into that right now, but he does, like, just hear like the dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's every fandom, especially that revolves around like movie stuff, has those scores. Normally the themes for the characters, like the Avengers theme, people go off about when it plays.
But it was a failure. Like, I think it's a failure. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's interesting. It's too. Oh my! Imagine being too complex and too shallow.
Damn.
That's exactly how I would explain that movie that show. It's just.
I think that's also a good way to explain time travel plots. Too complex but too shallow.
Yeah, it just sucks. There's no good character. Like, there's characters in anime that you cling on to. You're like, oh, I really like them. There's none.
No.
There's like, they tried and like they do the muscle head, right? But they can't just do the muscle head because the plot is so smart. So he's also just smart. He's like a super mechanic. It's like,
but that's the perfect character that you use to explain stuff better.
Yeah.
When you do science plots, you have a meathead, so that way you have a chance to exposition.
Yeah, it just sucks. I don't know if you realize that yet, but
no, I have realized it.
Yeah, it just sucks.
That sounds bad.
Yeah,
it does sound bad. It sounds extremely terrible.
And they give us points that this harps back on the I saw no violence. Like, and I'm not just I'm angry American, I want violence, but
I mean, it's a monster anime.
That too, but it's like there's a scene where they figure out that the Rodan like radio waves, and if you put out the certain signal, they'll chase it. This is before I found out that the show was going to suck. So I was still really enthralled. And I'm like, oh, this is about to kick off. Oh, by the way, we don't see Godzilla until like the 3rd episode. Oh, also, there was an old Godzilla, and his old bones were putting off radio waves in a basement. And we see that at the end of the 1st episode. That's what we got. Sleep on that. So they're making these Rodan, following them. Then there's an overturned bus. They crash. They split off into some shed and the bus. And we get the Rodan. They like radio waves, so anything like electrical, whatever.
Yeah.
Any kind of radio. One of them has a radio. Or there's a radio in the bus. Because it's like, hey, dispatcher, my bus is overturned. The Rodan are attacking. I need help. So the Rodan attack the thing on the bus.
Wait a minute. I know you're not going to have a satisfying answer for me. But they're attracted to specifically radio waves or any type of electromagnetic radiation?
Just radio waves.
Just radio waves.
I was mistaken in saying the cell phone. Because I couldn't remember why they attacked the bus. It's because the bus has a radio.
Okay.
So they attack that, and this Rodan is slowly coming down into the bus. And now that I think back on this part, I found another reason to be mad, but I'm not gonna go over that just yet. And this is where you could see that you could have the part where somebody panics and tries to just run past the Rodan, and we could watch somebody get ripped apart. So these things actually seem like a threat. Half of the show is just these Rodan flying around. We don't ever see anybody get attacked. We get one person that we know dies from them, and they do she runs out, grabs this dog that this little girl lost. This is a serious plot point. She grabs this little dog that this girl lost, and then we just get a shot of a Rodan head on, flying towards us really fast, cut to black. Next scene.
You said this is on Netflix?
Yes.
I really want to know what it's rated, so I'm going to look to see what it's rated.
And it just cuts to black, and then she's like, oh yeah, she died. I'm like, okay. So we missed that. Then this dude has this AI on his phone that can do like equations and stuff for him. He's like, there's a girl that's an archer. They happened to be on her way to an archery tournament. He has she puts the arrow.
Is it called Singular Point?
Yes. Puts the arrow in the bow.
It's rated TV. Oh.
It's rated what?
So it's rated TV 14. Now this means two things. This means that they, to my understanding, they can't mutilate human corpses. They can show human blood though, so I don't know why they wouldn't show any human blood. But like if
there could be human blood, but I only remember
the point of me saying is like, yes, the Rodan could have like eaten him, but they can't show a human being torn apart on screen.
I don't care about the rating. It shouldn't have been rated that. That's
I
agree.
The
first problem.
This is
it
where
shouldn't
I
have
agree
been
with
TV-14. It should have been to the point to where we can make these monsters menacing.
So basically what I'm saying is that it's a similar-esque rating to like your Avengers movies. To where we can see blood on them, we can't see them ripped up, but you can rip up an alien.
But even to that, we don't even like see humans getting thrown.
No, this is where I agree with you.
Not even to where they them
It's still a
ripping them
dropped
apart.
ball.
No, we don't even see them attacking anybody.
Yeah. It's still a dropped ball on it because
It's
you
so
can
hard.
you can still show them getting wounded.
So the dude picks up this cup, this empty bottle, shows it to the AI. He said, "Show me." Basically, what he's like, I need to know where to put the holes in this so I can shoot this with the bow, so it'll make a thing that'll make them go away. It'll make a sound that'll cause them to go away to mimic some kind of radio waves. I don't know if that's how that works. Somehow it made sense. I don't know.
No.
So he pulled. They do.
Sound waves and radio waves are very different.
Maybe it was the sound waves then. I don't remember, bro.
If they're attracted to sound waves and not radio waves?
Maybe.
Okay.
But, so they do it, they shoot the bow, and that gets the Rodan to leave the bus alone and come.
I feel like I might be more upset with this if I watch it because I'll understand half the
but
science and I'll be like, this is
so
bullshit.
Bad. It's so bad, bro. It makes me so fucking mad. Like, this is the thing about being a Godzilla fan, right? We rarely get stuff. Like, anymore, other than, like, before the Godzilla 2016, we didn't get anything. Yeah. We had to sit and wait for Toho to do their little thing with Mothra and let that fail for them to come back to Godzilla. Then we got Godzilla 2016, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best Godzilla movies out there. I don't care if you don't agree with that opinion, but it's how I feel. Then we got the Godzilla anime movies. Oh, we got Godzilla King of the Monsters. And that sucked. So I was like, okay. I hope it does well enough that we get another one. Because at this point, the MonsterVerse has already been talked about. We had scheduling for these movies. Then that did horrible. And now I haven't heard anything about the Mothra and Rodan movies that were supposed to be their own singular movies. So then we got the Godzilla anime movies. And they're not horrible, but they're not good. The third one, which a lot of people, I must be in the minority, but a lot of people think the third one's good. I think the third one's the worst one.
Were those the other ones that I just saw on Netflix when I went on there?
Probably.
Okay, it's like the first one's like Planet of the Monsters.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's horrible. Like they're not. The third one I think is really bad, but some people like it. If you care about the story of those, then you kind of like that. The characters are at least better written in that show or in those movies. Yeah. But it's like I don't care. I really don't care. But and then we got Godzilla vs. Kong, which was good. It's not great. It's not fantastic. It's not bad. It's good. I would watch it again. I would continue to watch it if given the opportunity to, Like, I'll go back and watch Godzilla 2016. I'll never go back and watch King of the Monsters. There's some of the early Godzilla movies I won't go back and watch again because they're just not good.
Yeah.
But there's other old Godzilla movies I'll go back and watch. Like, I'll go back and watch the original Godzilla, Gojira. I'll go back. That movie is so good. It's actually just a good movie. I'll go back and watch that. I'll go back and watch Final Wars just for the campy ridiculousness. Like,
that sounds fun.
There's some of those, like, I'll go back and watch Space Godzilla because that movie is just ridiculous. Like, there's certain movies I'll go back and just watch just to watch them because they're entertaining. And this was just the culmination of everything bad. I just can't believe that we can put out Shin Godzilla, the best Godzilla movie ever. It's better than Gojira. It is. And then the next thing we release out of Japan for Godzilla is this. It's horrible. I'm very upset. But yeah, that's it. I'm done talking about it. I just can't believe that was that bad. He grew, Zach. The formula they were trying to find was a code to make Godzilla for Jet Jaguar.
He didn't take
He grows.
anywhere.
He just grows. Zach, he falls off the screen. He's laying in rubble, and then this phone starts to glow around Jet Jaguar. His eyes come back on. Then we're about to see the dude get blown off the face of the earth, and huge Jet Jaguar comes and attacks Godzilla. That's what we see, Zach. Zach, that's what we get to see.
The worst part is I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I think I could make that work. They probably didn't, though. Because, like, what I don't understand is when we get these kinds of things that where the plot is basically science, and then they just kind of ignore laws of science. Like how you can't create matter. So he can't just grow. He would need to get matter somewhere in order to grow, and it just sounds like he doesn't, which is it's not how it works.
Imagine rushing your horrible plot. So on the second to last episode, the AI in Jet Jaguar has been fine. It just stops working and then reboots and updates, and now it's a child. We get one allusion to Mothra in this series, which I think is disrespectful. That we got. Now, I'm happy for the Manda thing and for Anguirus being there and the Rodan that I hate. But we get Mothra. We get one time where Jet Jaguar's all baby mode, not knowing how to speak English. And it has to relearn everything at the last episode, like it's a child. And it's
sorry, you don't back up your programs, Japan?
It's playing what a... And he's like, oh, is that a butterfly? He's like, no, that's a moth. And we just get him playing. He's like, well, how? And, oh my, it's so bad. I can't even explain it. It's so bad.
Now, you told me to keep something in mind and then haven't explained it. You talked about a skeleton to an original Godzilla laying in a basement somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's it? It's just...
Yeah, there is a skeleton to the original Godzilla from the... Oh, yeah, this is the stupid thing. The reason why nobody remembers that Godzilla existed is because it happened on an island off the coast and got wiped out, and then nobody lived to talk about it. But for some reason, the Godzilla bones are living in the bottom of this basement. It's horrible.
We don't get any follow-up for that?
Because the dude that brought it to shore didn't... Zach, it's just bad. There's nothing to explain it, Zach. They don't explain anything. Anything that doesn't make sense, it just doesn't make sense because this guy was a super mastermind genius that didn't want to tell anybody. That's not a real reason. That's not actual plot. What? How does that make any sense? If he's a genius, he would tell somebody. Why would I not tell anybody about this dude that is going to cause an apocalypse and kill everybody and everything? Why wouldn't I tell anybody? Why would I keep it to myself and just let it happen? Because I know in the future, some dude's going to make a dumbass robot that's going to come through and grow and kill Godzilla when he's reborn. How does that make any sense? How does that make any sense?
Because it sounded like it's supposed to be a Mechagodzilla tease, and from what I was what I was hearing from you is that they throw it out.
Right?
Or
that would make sense.
Yeah,
right?
that's why, because you had said it, and I was just like, oh, so Mechagodzilla. But from the sound of it, they wouldn't do something like that, would they?
I guess there's a possibility. They do some group comes through and confiscates the bones. Okay. That could be a season 2 thing that they wanted to do.
But they'd probably mess it up.
They probably should have put it in the first season because everything else sucks! Hi, I'm back. Oh, I was so upset about that. Is that it? Are we going to time travel? Because you know it's my favorite fucking thing to do, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I didn't bring... I can't change into other clothes because I didn't bring any, so...
No, it's fine. I'll just deal
so
with
we can it's okay. When I do time travel, it's my primary plot, and I actually, think about it a little bit.
Okay, cool.
So it's usually a lot
better.
better.
You're going to do radio waves that travel through fucking time?
Oh,
How about that
absolutely
shit?
not.
You like that, huh?
It's not how radio waves work.
Yeah, I'm pooped.
Yeah.
So,
time travel to a few weeks ago. We still have my pitch on the back burner.
I've used all my energy.
Oh, okay. Well, just give me a second.
Nice.
Yes, sir. All right,
so
we decided for you to do
the
Teen Titans cross
with the Young Justice
cross.
Whatever
some of the
kids,
Legends of Tomorrow cast.
Whatever kids you can find.
Yeah, basically, we gave you
DC's Young Heroes.
Daycare.
Yeah, and then also Firestorm. That's what we meant.
He's young in the New 52.
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah.
New 52 universe, he's like 17. It's cool.
I wish you would have done DC Daycare, made them all babies, and do like a Muppet Babies
It's
thing.
It's called Teeny Titans. It already exists.
Oh my god, I'm so dumb.
It's fine. If you don't know what that is, it's the Teen Titans, but they're like 5. Like it's a children's it's a little kids comic. That has nothing to do with this pitch.
Yep,
but Teeny Titans are weird. It's a weird footnote in DC history, and it has to kind of do what I was talking about. So I originally looked and was going to be like, okay, I could do like a Young Justice Teen Titans thing. The problem is that like every single member of Young Justice, barring like 1 or 2, have also been a member of Teen Titans. So what I've kind of elected to do is really, this is just one big Teen Titans story that uses names and likenesses and themes from Young Justice as well, and also adding in Firestorm, because you wanted me to do Firestorm.
Yes.
So I was just like, okay, I can put him in. It's not hard. I found a way to put him in that gives the story some relevancy. The caveat with mine is both of you guys in your pitches were just like, this is my limited series I'm doing. Mine's a bit different. This is me taking a run that has started, changing the few issues that have come out, and then my main pitch, just kind of like clip notes of what's going on. My main pitch takes place like maybe the fourth storyline in the ongoing, because it needs background to make sense.
Okay.
I'm taking the Teen Titans Academy book and I'm building something off of that. Teen Titans Academy literally just started a few months ago. They're not doing it exactly how I would do it, and I like my way better. So I'm allowed to. So it works. So Teen Titans Academy, for those who don't know, is the Titans, which are the former Teen Titans, basically have a school, an academy for the young heroes of the DC universe. So I'm not explaining how it works in the actual comics. I'm just going to explain how mine would work, and it's different. In the actual Teen Titans Academy book, it's the beloved Titans, which are the ones from the cartoon that just kind of run this school alongside Donna Troy, because she didn't have anything else going on. And it's just kind of like, it's a bunch of original characters as the students for the most part. Like or ones that have been used in like one-offs. And then also Billy Batson, because he has weird things going on with his Shazam powers right now. It doesn't matter. And DC has a lot of young heroes that they've just kind of used one-off and then never went back to. And they kind of started to do that, but they did a lot of OCs as well, a lot of new ones. And I kind of want to reach out and take all of those characters that we already have and develop them, because some of them are either cool or underdeveloped. And as a person, this is just my opinion, I want comics to move on.
Okay.
Like, a cool thing about DC is that we have the Justice Society as the past heroes, and they were the past, like, they were the big ticket people in the Golden Age. We never went past that with the Justice League. I'm not doing that in this. I'm just saying, like, I want to set the foundation so they can do that. So my version of Teen Titans Academy, first of all, don't name it after Roy Harper. They named the Academy after Roy Harper in the comics. The problem is, because he died in Heroes in Crisis, the problem is the exact same week they released the first issue of Teen Titans Academy, Roy Harper came back to life. If you are going to bring Roy Harper back within a year of this first issue, you do not call it that, because it cheapens it immediately. So we're just not going to call it that, because I don't want to mess with Roy Harper's timeline. I would have there be like statues of your big ticket Titans and have his cap or something on it. Like, honor him because it's Roy Harper and we love him, and he's not going to be in the story.
Roy Harper is who again?
Arsenal.
Okay, that's what I was pretty sure. But
And I would make this, I would also make it a bigger school. Have it be a big campus. Have it be sponsored by these big companies that we have in the DC universe, like Cord Industries, Wayne Enterprises, Queen Incorporated, like all of these companies that are also superheroes. So yes, they would fund this school. The Titans are beloved in these books. People like the Teen Titans. They like the Titans. They love Dick Grayson. They like Starfire, Beast Boy, Wally West even. I would have your original Teen Titans and your new Teen Titans be teachers at the school, with a few exceptions, them being Roy Harper, who is dead, Wally West, who is the main Flash right now, actually. I wouldn't mess with his stories. And Superboy, because he's doing stuff at Argus with Argus, with the Suicide Squad.
Yep.
But I would have Wally West make frequent appearances, not get involved with the story if he doesn't need to, but he believes in the school because of course he does. Few cool things. Have Raven teach magic, have Starfire teach astronomy, and I was going to have Cyborg teach computers, but in the Teen Titans Academy book, he teaches home ec, and there is the funniest panel where Nightwing is asking him about something, and he's just like, isn't this home ec? And Cyborg's like, yeah, what do you think home ec is? And it's just ludicrous shit, like they're fighting Beast Boy behind a panel, and keep that, because that's funny. And they all answer to Principal Batman.
Huh?
Batman's not going to make a bunch of appearances in this, but you realize that this Teen Titans Academy is kind of under the thumb of the Justice League.
Okay.
For the reasons of they're sidekicks in the
Like
end.
Batman.
Because he needs friction with Dick. That's why.
Could have better choice of words, but all right.
No. Friction with Nightwing. Friction with his sons, because other teachers here are Tim Drake and Jason Todd. Jason Todd teaches Jim because he's not smart.
I was wondering who the gym teacher was.
He's not smart enough to, like, you could do a lot of people for the gym teachers, but Jason Todd, what else is he going to teach? I love him, but...
Damn, you talking a lot of trash about Jason Todd.
I like him, but he's going to teach
Yeah,
that.
you like him when he kicks your head off with that kickball. How about that?
Yeah, it's true. He would. And, like, Tim Drake is, like, I'm trying to use this to build up Tim Drake, too, because he fucking deserves it. He is kind of like the hard-ass rules follower. Like, he's kind of brown-nosing Batman a lot.
Okay.
Because Batman has these rules that if you're in the academy, you don't go on field missions. The only time the Teen Titans assemble is when it's dire consequences, and it's only the upperclassmen. Juniors or seniors, led by a person of Principal Batman's choosing, usually either Dick or Tim. And that's that. Like, that's the only thing. Now, this causes friction at the beginning because reasons, but there's other stuff going on, like the Red X story or this or that, that it's just kind of simmering in the background. Jason Todd disagrees with this. He's like, we were out there fighting as Robin. Why? And plus, where's Damian? Damian's not in the school. Where's, like, all of Batman's kids that he has on his roster right now? Where are they? Batman tries to say it's an exception, and Jason Todd's put like, bullshit. It's not. I don't care if Damian was trained by the League of Assassins. Like, just, if you're setting this precedent, they should be here. Your kids who get focus in the book, and then as for your Titans, it's mainly Jason questioning Batman, Tim brown-nosing Batman, and Dick in the middle. Just kind of trying to stave it off.
Tim giving off those hall monitor vibes.
Exactly. I gotta give him something. He never gets anything. And the rest of the teachers, they tend to talk about it, but they don't give full in because it doesn't matter. So just for your teachers, Nightwing, Starfire, Beast Boy, Cyborg, Raven.
Okay.
Lilith Clay, who is Omen, she was part of the original Teen Titans. Garth, the original Aqualad. Donna Troy.
That's not the black one, is it? Or is it?
No, he is also in this story as a younger hero because he's still young. But this is the original one. Oh. And then Barbara Gordon is also there.
Barbara Gordon, badass.
Yeah. She kind of takes this secretary role of, like, you kind of realize that she's probably keeping this school afloat while everyone is busy arguing.
We love Barbara.
Yeah. She's great. We love her. And then Tim Drake is here. I kept trying to come up with a different name for Tim Drake because I don't like him. I think Red Robin's a dumb name. And I don't like him being Robin when Damian is Robin. Tried calling him Cardinal. I don't think that's a great name. Give him something else, please.
Rooster.
Moving on. Important students. Wallace West, which is the Kid Flash currently. John Kent, Superboy. Miss Martian. She hasn't really been introduced in this continuity yet, so introduce her as someone younger. I'd keep the Billy Batson thing. Not fully dig into it. Let him do that in a solo series, but he's here. Jackson Hyde, that's the Black Aqualad. Teen Lantern, which is like the one character that's only been in Young Justice.
Okay.
And she's new. Very new. Like Rebirth new.
Okay.
The newer Wonder Girl. Bart Allen, Impulse.
Okay.
Firestorm. I'm pretty sure he's Jason Rush right now. I don't know who they introduced in the New 52 to be the 17-year-old Firestorm.
Is it the black one?
Jason Rush is the black one.
Okay.
Ronnie Raymond is the white one.
Okay.
Blue Beetle. Amiko Queen.
You're not going to specify which Blue Beetle?
Jaime Reyes. Ted Kord's old.
He could have got held back.
And then Crush. Crush is Lobo's daughter. I don't know if you're aware of Lobo's daughter.
No, I'm not. That's news to me.
Yes, Lobo has a daughter that was a member of the Teen Titans. She, like, just left in the actual comics to go have
What's her name?
Crush.
Crush?
Yes. She just went to go have, like, a miniseries with her dad. Any young hero that you're not using, just put him in the background character, give a line here or there. Like, they kind of do this now with a few background things. Just do it. It'd be fun. If they're not anywhere else, they can be here. Because I like knowing where characters are. Unless you're going to use them later in some surprise thing, use them here. It's that easy.
Cool.
things happen. Things happen.
Things do
And this
happen.
is where, like, you need to use your other books very specifically. Because there's probably a Justice League title going on, and shit's probably going down. You have big cosmic things going on. We're dealing with this universe reset. The Teen Titans are watching this all go down, and some of them, especially the ones who had served on the Teen Titans team before this academy, they're getting antsy. They're like, what's going on? Cosmic Entity's going down. We haven't seen Wally in however many weeks. He likes to stop by every week. Where has he been? John is like, what's going on with Superman? And Connor's disappeared. Where, like, just all these questions that are happening in the DC universe right now, and Batman is just shutting them down. Just like, don't worry about it. You're here. Focus on here. And Jason starts putting pressure on him, and then Dick starts putting pressure on him. Dick Grayson starts putting pressure on him. Phrasing! Nightwing starts putting pressure on him, too. He's just like, listen, I'm your second in command here. We find out Nightwing's like the vice president. He's the person right below him. And Bruce is just like, listen, I'm the one in charge. And Nightwing's like, yeah, I founded this school. Come on, what's going on? And the more stiffer he gets... The more... I can't think of how to not innuendo this. The more he keeps putting pressure on Batman, the more that the other teachers are starting to do too, to where Batman starts to flip. Remember, he's dealing with stuff on the Justice League side too. He's fighting this fight. He's just like, listen, what happens to the school if Wayne Enterprises pulls out? Everyone pulls out. Who's going to replace that? Now, just for a thing in the comics, if you don't know this, Wayne Enterprises currently isn't being controlled by Bruce Wayne. It's being controlled by Lucius Fox.
Lucius!
If you don't know this, now you do. So you want to keep that as like one letter to Lucius, and it goes. And that'll be it, because these other companies aren't going to stay.
Is Lucius Black in this universe, or is that just a
I
movie
don't
thing?
know off the top. I think he is, because his son is the next Batman in Future State, and he's black.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going with he is. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And this is all getting to the build-up where a big event happens, another just big incursion, big supervillain comes in, and Jason loses it. He's like, I'm going out there to fight. These kids want to fight. They can come with me. If they can go be heroes if they want to. He leaves, and following him, Bart Allen, Blue Beetle, Emiko Queen, and Crush follow him. Firestorm doesn't go immediately, but Professor Stein comes around. We learn that Professor Stein hasn't been merged with him because he wants... There's weird stuff with Firestorm in this continuity where he has like some limited powers without Stein. He wants him to learn how to control him without him. But after learn of this, he comes because there's shit going on and Firestorm needs to take it on. And the teacher's like, you can't. He's like, what do you mean we can't? Professor Stein's smart. He's not top of the list with Lex and Terrific, but he's smart. He gets in, him and Firestorm fuse, and they go to join them. This is the beginning of the arc that I'm calling Outlaw Justice, because I don't know what else to call it. And it's basically...
That bangs, by the way.
Yeah. Well, because it's taking... Basically, Red Hood has formed another Outlaws faction, which,
okay.
for the sake of this, is our Young Justice. That's, again, these are the Young Justice characters. For the sake of levity, that's your Young Justice. They're all heroes that have fought solo before. They're all heroes that have fought on Teen Titans sides before, but not ones that cut their teeth with that. Bart Allen was always doing other things. Blue Beetle was solo for the longest time. So was Firestorm. Emiko Queen has always been that rebellious streak. I don't know how much you know about her, but... And you know, in Crush is Lobo's kid. Like, come on. They leave, and Batman is pissed. He's like, Tim... Get this in, Dick, get this in order. Tim, get it, everyone, get this in order. And some of the teachers are like, no. Donna Troy is like, this is what we did. Like, this is how the Teen Titans started, is we rebelled against our main superheroes because they weren't getting the job done when we could. And a lot of your OG Titans take that side. If they're around and they can. The new Teen Titans, they see things a bit differently. Again, Dick Grayson is torn between it. We're building... Dick and Barbara are both like, we want to keep these kids safe, but the world's in danger, and if they are willing to fight, why should we stop them? Some of these people, some of them know how to use their powers better than they could, namely John Kent, Wallace West, out of the ones who stayed. So they go off, and Batman has a stakeout, and Red Hood and his outlaw justice come in, and they fuck it up. Now, they don't know because they're not tied in with Batman at the time. This makes Batman flip his lid, and he tells Dick, get a handle on it or I will. Dick says, I don't know if I want to fight my brother. You know, they're kind of right. They're doing exactly what we would do. This is probably the most Teen Titans thing anyone at this school has done. Batman, he sees it a bit differently. Doesn't know what to do. Tim Drake walks in and says, let me assemble a team, and we'll take him out. Let me assemble a Titans team.
Hall monitor.
Yep.
Do you have a hall pass, sir? It is.
Kid Flash, Superboy, Miss Martian, Billy Batson, Jackson Hyde.
Oh my gosh. The power.
Yeah, because he's going like, we're going to take him out. We're going to be done with this. And it'll be through. You spend 1 or 2 issues just every time Red Hood pops his head up, Tim Drake goes to shoot him down. And you realize that his team with him maybe aren't so with it. Especially Superboy and Kid Flash. They're like... Because they were on the Teen Titans team before this Academy thing started. Billy Batson's just glad to be getting help. Miss Martian's new on this world. And Jackson Hyde's glad to be out of the water.
Okay.
You learn that Teen Lantern and Wonder Girl, they start joining them on some missions, but they're not full mainstays of it. Just when Tim feels like he needs the extra power, he calls them in. Our original Teen Titans are getting a bit miffed at what's going on. To where Donna Troy disappears entirely. She says, need to go call a friend, and pieces out. Get a cut to our outlawed thing. You see, out of the shadows, Donna Troy, Superboy, the Connor Kent Superboy, the one that was with Argus, and Barbara Gordon are in the shadows. They're just like, things aren't going well at the school. Maybe you guys should stop. And Jason's just like, we're helping people. Batman doesn't see it. He's looking at this very analytical way of how things are going. But these people, these villains aren't, and this is a very Red Hood take of these villains aren't going to stop. And sometimes the Justice League can't save anyone. That's what the Teen Titans were here to do, to get to the place that the Justice League couldn't. And we're being held back. Finally, and I've expedited a lot of this, but a lot of these issues are character building between these characters, setting up what would be your young heroes going forward, giving them more roots in how they go from the sidekick to the hero, which is what Teen Titans has always been about.
Mm-hmm.
Take it to, we have a crossover with probably the Justice League book. And it's not so much of a crossover in that, like, we're following one story, but as so these events are happening at the same time, and we notice it. You have things that happen in the Justice League book, happen in the Teen Titans book as well. Like cosmic flares, buildings fall, Batman's getting called away because he has to go do things, and he's leaving Nightwing in charge, but don't do this because Wayne Enterprises will pull out or something. Nightwing is torn up because arguments are breaking out between not just the students, but the teachers. You know how schools are, where hot political things happen and the students start arguing. That's happening, but also the teachers are going at it. It's this thing that we get in comics a lot of times, where they believe that they are keeping these kids safe, that they're saving people, but also, is it right? Is it right to tell these kids that they can't fight when they not only want to, but could actually make a difference? Because we did exactly that. It's asking that question. Finally, big token battle starts. Justice League are fighting, I don't know, not Starro.
I was just about to say Starro.
But a big cosmic entity. I don't want to make it Darkseid. I don't want to, no, Brainiac. Make it Brainiac. I like it because I need the big guy to be fighting them and also causing debris, but the Justice League keep getting tied up. You see Superman and Flash trying to help people while fighting, but they're having trouble. Then Red Hood and his outlaws join in. They're like, you need help, we're coming. Tim Drake, he sees it differently. You need to be stopped. He calls in Teen Lantern and Wonder Girl. And the fighting commences. Big ticket, your big item fights. Tim Drake and Red Hood, the two former Robins, going hand to hand. Your Flashes going around. Really, like, give it a good big splash page. Hell, if you wanted to go so far, and I would so do this because I think it'd be cool, have your ground fight be the Titans versus the Outlaws, have your Sky be the Justice League fighting Brainiac, have those be 2 different splash pages in the comic that stand on their own. But if you put them up, makes one big one. Sounds cool. Gives you reasons to buy these other comics, which is what we should be doing. We get the fight from Wallace and Bart's point of view. Everything is slowing down because they're the speedsters here. They're fighting. They're like, I don't want to fight you because they're kind of related. And they look and they see Brainiac has Superman's number. And it's not so much that Superman is in trouble, but pedestrians nearby are in trouble, and Superman can't get to him, and Flash can't get to him. And they have this kind of moment of understanding where we're fast enough that the only 2 people keeping us out of this fight are each other. And we don't have to fight Brainiac, but we can get the people out of here. And I think the Flashes are who you can pull that off with. If you don't pull it off with them, you pull it off with Superboy. And Superboy's fast enough that I think you could have a moment with him, and this is where, like, I bring Connor in to have that moment. They stop fighting, and they start getting people out. Just Brainiac's out. Clear the city. You have Wally turnarounds, finally get free turnaround to save someone, and he sees I think Bart has white lightning right now. Red and white lightning. Wallace has red lightning. Come by, get him out. And he just knows, because he knows. And they keep going. Finally, with this help from them and then the Superboys join in to get everyone out, the Justice League are able to take Brainiac without having to worry about saving the civilians. That gives Superman and Flash enough focus to just, boom. Full Justice League unite, take him down. Outlaws haven't been defeated. Wallace and John, I'm getting spacey now. Wallace and John have effectively switched sides. They've left Titans at this point. Tim's trying to bark commands at him. They're just like, no. We're heroes. We're saving people. That's what heroes do. And they're right, of course. Everyone is here after this battle. Batman comes down and he's pissed. Why are all these kids out here? What the hell is going on? And this is where Dick loses it. This is where he fully loses it. Because Batman's grilling Jason. He's even grilling Tim. And he's grilling these heroes, and Dick's just like, if they weren't here, you might have not have won. Not just that. These guys, pointing to the Flashes, they didn't fight. They didn't worry about fighting. They worried about clearing them out. If you can't see that this is what the Teen Titans should be, then you can get out. You don't need to be a part of this. And Batman says, then fine, Wayne Enterprises will pull out. And you know they'll follow. And I need Green Arrow to be here to basically be kind of like, first of all, he'd be in the fight because he's a Justice League member. But him always being kind of a thorn in Batman's side, just being like, I mean, Queen Incorporated can't run it itself, but he's right. This is what Roy would have done. They still don't know Roy's alive yet. And that's just, everyone stands up, and Dick, this is where Dick learns. I messed with Tom Taylor's Nightwing run a bit, but it's fine. This is where Dick learns that he was left Alfred's fortune. Alfred was a billionaire, by the way. I don't know if you know this.
I knew that.
That's not me adding something. That's just the case for some reason.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
It was recently revealed.
Alfred is literally the greatest man in all of comics.
And Dick says, I'll fund it. I'm a billionaire. Dick, in town, this is where I mess with Tom Taylor's Nightwing run, but not really. Because Dick's whole thing in that run is that he has all this money and he doesn't know what to do with it, but he wants to pay it forward. So this is what he does. He funds the school instead. Principal Batman is out. Principal Nightwing, whatever you want to call him. He's in. Barbara can take vice principal. And they run this school differently. How we set this up. And I would use this to set up your Teen Titans books. Not till the end of time, because you got to change the status quo at some point. But the Teen Titans Academy has 2 teams. One led by Jason Todd, and one led by Tim Drake, who understands when Dick breaks and he takes on Batman, Tim gets it. And he's like, he's right. Dick is right. because he's always been the heart and soul of the DC universe, especially the Robins. Tim leads the Titans, the Teen Titans. Red Hood leads Young Justice. They give it the name. And they are the ones who, because they're the leaders, they choose who is eligible for their team. If the teachers don't think you have enough control over your powers, you can't do it. But as long as, doesn't matter how old, doesn't matter how young you are, if you can control your powers, you're in. This takes Billy Batson back out to put him back on his path for story of trying to figure out what's going on with the Shazam powers, but lets you use Bart, Kid Flash, Aqualad, any character you can think of. This sets up the books because you're going to take these characters out from under Batman's shadow. Please. You keep putting characters in this really, this is me getting on my soapbox about how over-reliant we are on Batman, but you keep giving Batman characters, and these characters sometimes are cool, like Duke Thomas is really cool, but he feels bloated when he's still fighting with Tim Drake, Red Hood, Dick Grayson, people who should be out of Batman's shadow by this point. So take them, make them your front-runners for the Titans, because they're popular enough to do that. Certainly, especially Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson can keep his Nightwing book. Tim Drake and Red Hood man your Teen Titans and Young Justice books. And have one or two more books, depending on the academy. I think you could do a students and a teachers, but if it doesn't sell well, it can be one. And let that be outside of the Bat family. You don't have to see Batman at the school. You don't have to see him interacting with his kids anymore. And then introduce your rest. Have Damian have to go to the school, because I think that'd be fun. This is more me pitching my general Teen Titans run as a writer and not a specific event.
No, that's cool with me.
That sort of like outlaw justice was the thing that I was going for, but I am spacing because it's late and I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I put my main points in there of what's happening is I would use this to grow Dick as a character, show that he is understanding, grow Jason as a character to show that he needs to have restraint, and grow Tim as a character because no one else will. He fucking deserves it. Tim Drake is meant to become a better detective than Batman at some point in his life, and if you don't give him any character focus, he never will. And it also fulfills a prophecy that Batman had for Dick Grayson a long time ago, when it came to showing him about the Justice League. That he's born to lead this one day, and this isn't that, but if you spend time with it and develop it, you could keep this system and keep it going. And you can have one hell of a hero cast in a few years if you don't reset your continuity. I love you, DC. But seriously. And let your other characters grow up. At this point in time, guys like Wallace West and John Kent, they're like 17. In 3 years in actual time, but in like a year of comic time, they should be taking over roles or being ready to. And use this as like a breeding ground for like, oh, whose character is getting popular? Amiko's getting popular? Give her like you could call it an independent study miniseries where she goes and she shadows Green Arrow, Batman, or be weird and have her shadow Wonder Woman. Like,
yeah.
You can use this to develop all of your young heroes and turn them into something. Develop someone like Teen Lantern, who is just kind of goofy all the time.
I have one request for this book. Can Swamp Thing run the agriculture class?
Sure. I'm down for it.
Thank you so much.
Like, and that's another thing, right? Because like coming after that outlawed justice arc, have like dig into like the substitute teacher thing. Like Raven's getting sick and she needs someone to sub in for magic classes. Imagine how much fun it would be to then have like Constantine as a sub, Zatanna as a sub, Dr. Fate as a sub.
That's what I was thinking.
It'd be so much fun. And then why is Raven having problems? I don't know. She's having headaches. You immediately got it.
Oh no.
Maybe
say it again, please.
The deal with the gem on Raven's forehead, right? It holds her dad Trigon. So, like, and that can be a whole arc after that. Like, you can then be taking these guys who are like, well, the Teen Titans beat them before. And whether it's your Titan suiting up or your Teen Titan, like, there's so much development, even in your teachers, that they can bring the stories, and then the kids can develop through that. Or the kids can be bringing the story. Like, use the characters that you've established that people love People love these Teen Titans characters, and, like, fair. I do, too. And developing... It's not hard. And I know I'm, like... This is just me getting into, like, things you can do with this setup like that. But you can. And, again, when it comes to graduating these characters, because you graduate the characters at some point, what are their popularities? Did they sell an independent study book? Did they sell it well? If they did, give them a solo. Or put them on a team. You have so many teams, DC. If it's a Mystic character and they do good teams, Justice League Dark. If they got super fucking popular, like I imagine guys like Wallace or John, or even Emiko if you do her well, or fuck it, Crush could be amazing if you really tried, they can go join the Justice League. Who knows what the Justice League could look like in 5 years if you actually do a thing. Bruce Wayne shouldn't be Batman anymore by this point if we actually follow the timeline. I know he never will stop, but...
So you've made like the La Messiah for the superhero universe.
Yeah.
You don't know what the La Masia is,
No.
so just say yeah.
I don't know.
La Masia is Barcelona's football academy. They cheering out some of the greatest soccer players of all time.
Yeah, and like you're not every single character isn't going to be this grand thing. You're going to have a few duds, but hell, if it is a cult favorite character, you know what they can do? They can be a teacher.
Everything's better than just letting characters rot.
Yeah, fucking. Why we do, and Marvel does this too, right? I'm not gonna act like it's only a DC problem.
Yeah.
But you throw these characters out, you don't do anything with them. I'm just like, do something with them. Put them in the school. They can be a teacher, a janitor. They can do anything, right? And just having this continuity link of this is where this character is better than. I shouldn't be shrugging when you ask me where a character is.
All I see is the throwaway panel where it's just like a bunch of the super pets lined up, and like, is this our new class? He's like, no, that's Crypto. No, that's Ace. He's like, is this no, that's our guest speaker and it's Detective Chimp.
Yeah, like just
like
it can be weird.
Just funny stuff like that.
Yeah. And again, like I would have this be a whole campus where you, instead of it just all being in Titan Towers is a part of the campus because it has to be. But and then eventually you can lead to Roy's return. Have like one day the baseball cap be missing or something and you're like, well, what's happening? And Roy return, like, because you have so many characters, there's millions of possibilities. The possibilities never really end because all these characters also tend to have connections to other people. And Miko has connections to Green Arrow, Arsenal, and Speedy, wherever the hell Mia Darden is. Like, Kid Flash has the whole Flash family to learn from. And genuinely, people don't like Wallace West, and I understand why they don't like him. It has nothing to do with him. Develop him as a character, have him grow into a different identity, and it'll be fine. People hate him because he was the replacement for Wally West, but Wally is back now, and, he's doing good. So far.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
You do pretty well after you murder a bunch of superheroes, so.
That's been retconned out. It's Reverse Flash's fault now.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that the book is doing right now that I really like is they're using the H-dial. You probably don't know what the H-dial is. No one does, but like they're using it now and it's cool. It's basically it's kind of like Ben 10's Omnitrix, but heroes. You just type, you hit the H button if you're the correct user. You hit the H button and it turns you into a random hero.
Oh, sick.
We learned that it can do other things because they use them in Future State. And also, build your Future State stuff.
There you go.
Future State was a cool event. Let's never do it again. Future State was a cool event. Please, let's never do it again. But having this shit out of order and knowing that we're all leading to this at one point and everything in the DC universe better fucking lead to that shit. I invested too much time and money in that. It won't, but it better.
Yeah, it won't.
I just think it can be fun.
That was very, very good.
It's groundwork. It's some character building because these characters need to be built. Like, and I don't want to sound like I'm throwing shade at you taking these developed characters and throwing them at big bads because that's fun, and it is, and I love it.
But that can't be every story.
It can't be every story, and you can't take your Teen Titans as they currently sit and throw them into that story. Because, granted, none of them are developed yet.
Yeah, it's kind of how I've always seen the Teen Titans, though.
Yeah, but like that was kind of like that's what
they should have been. Let me rephrase. That's why I always thought they should have been. Yeah. This is the breeding ground for the next crop of goats.
Like I should be sitting here. We are more than 20 years removed from the original Teen Titans stories. But we should be sitting here removed thinking about how we saw these characters grow up to be the Justice Order. No. You get my point.
I was like, yeah,
like the next stage.
I was like, yeah, and only one of them made the Justice League. Am I wrong?
I think most of them had made Justice League membership as at one point. The only one they actually pushed as had made their potential was Cyborg, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, it's rough.
It happens.
Well, didn't he replaced John Johns, right?
Yeah.
Wait, and that sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that
It's
personally.
hard. I would say it's hard to replace. Like, I understand John Johns is like different, and maybe a lot of people don't like him. I find him to be super interesting.
Say Billy gets a hold of his powers, gets a hold of the full powers again, and he does the thing that he did at one point, made the Shazam family. Now they all need to learn how to use their powers, and they're all kids. Yeah. Just boop, there you go, and there's 5 new. You can do so much with it, and if Shazam had learned to control all of his powers by this point, maybe him or Mary are the oldest ones. Make that just an entire offshoot team.
There you go.
You can do so much, and because it's comics, if someone's getting popular or catching fire, you have a story you can tell. Miniseries. Comics worked when they did that. When they said, oh, this character's getting popular, give them a miniseries. Oh, did it sell well? They can be, like, you give them a slot. I'm not saying that every character has to immediately go somewhere. Well, I am saying that. But they don't have to immediately go on to this bigger or better thing. If Teen Lantern doesn't catch fire, and I think if you give Teen Lantern proper development, she could, because we've never really had a Green Lantern sidekick because it doesn't make sense, but this does a bit.
It sounds effectively what you've made has given them a place to let these characters tread water that's not the crypt.
Yes.
So like these characters can be here doing things and not just be nowhere doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's better to just be doing something and to be around than to be in the halls of lore, you know?
Yeah, it's better to be, like, again, I just use really Wonder Girl is probably a better thing, because Wonder Girl never gets any attention, but say she doesn't catch fire, say her graduation comes up and she just isn't popular, you put her back into the school, have her, like, in throwaway panels of her working on stuff in the lab there, because that's what she is. She's a tech person. She hacked the Green Lantern power battery. It needs work, but it's a cool enough origin that I think we could work with that, right?
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting enough. I think currently she's in the Green Lantern book doing something. But, like, a way to make a Green Lantern sidekick and have it not just be a deputy lantern is cool.
Yeah.
You could just keep going.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm impressed.
I wanted to do it because I knew you guys were going to bring something good.
I think it's great.
Like I said, I wanted to do, like, this is a story for you guys, but really I'm doing this. I'm building this groundwork of just all of that,
like he always does.
Given a thing, and again, I think another cool story if you do this split for the Teen Titans Academy books, one for the teachers and one for the students. If you do, you can listen to this. If you do the Raven stuff in that one, again, I think Damian Wayne having to go to school for once would be extremely fun. And then maybe we fix the Damian Wayne problem that everyone has. Personally, I love Damian Wayne, but
what's the problem everybody has with Damian Wayne?
He's arrogant as fuck and he never learns. He's a little brat, which I think works for that type of Robin. But he's been that Robin for... It's been a decade. Sorry, it's been 40 years since the first Teen Titans story. I forget we're in 2021. It was the 80s. Have fun with that, everyone. We've had over 10 years of Damian Wayne being a little brat. And I don't want to shit on the current Robin ongoing because it's been really good. And it looks like it might beat that out of him. And I mean that literally.
Sick.
He's in a death tournament. It might literally beat it out of him.
Huh.
But, like, you could do it and you could forge him because at this point with this story, I don't see any of the other Robins becoming a future Batman. And Damian's literally the heir to the Bat. Like...
Yeah.
Damian Wayne is probably... It's either him or Tim. That is the Robin that has so much potential that just hasn't fucking realized any of it. Dick Grayson at least went to become Nightwing. And Jason never ended up with any potential. And he ended up becoming something anyway. Which is cool. Tim and Damian just never have. And they feel like they should be.
Sick.
It's an outline to make something of other characters, and it can make something of the characters we have now.
You've effectively turned a comic book into a system. And
yes.
I envy that. That was like
yes,
sick.
I did exactly that. And because I think it makes sense. And I feel like that there is a comic version of this that almost exists. Or used to exist.
You turn Teen Titans into manager mode. How does that make you feel?
I love manager mode.
Thanks.
And now we're back. I hope you enjoyed that. I normally like to do lavish intros, but Tanner might pass out at any moment at me now.
I'm good.
Rage is taxing.
Just the more I think about it, the more I remember. Zach, I want you to know that
I'm sorry.
The red dust that they have, this thing that they use to kill him, he uses it like a living muscle. So not only do you have Godzilla, but like they try to throw a bomb at him, and dust forms into like a tentacle of muscle and just bangs it out the air. Because Godzilla isn't enough. When did Godzilla not become enough to wipe out everything? Why do we need all this extra? I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about it no more. But, yeah. So, this has been the Kaiju. You know what? It's been the comics and very hard done by genre podcast. I'm your host, Tanner Bays. I don't want to be the commander of them anymore. I'm going to get dishonorably discharged from my own army because of how horrible our standards have become. Honestly, I'd rather be a POW. Let somebody else take me. Let the Common Rider people just come and steal me from. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with it. But whatever. This has been a great podcast. Your pitch was actually phenomenal, just to let you know.
Listen, if you want to be Private Toku, I can make the arrangements.
I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I'm going to take a small vacation, and I'm going to come back.
Okay. I think we still have you next episode.
Yeah. When I come back, I'm going to bring... To take the words of a great man, I'll just do it myself. When I come back, I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring the Kaiju up from the depths. I'm going to come back with a new segment. I'm going to let it marinate. I'm going to figure it out.
Okay.
While I'm on vacation. And I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to come with a couple weeks worth of content so I can be prepared and then I continue it.
All right, I'm down.
So that'll be a segment when I come back. You can look forward to that. Big up to my dad brought it to me and I thought it was a good idea. I got to change a couple things, but it was... I got to do it myself. I got to put it on my back.
Hey, I know what that feels like.
Yeah. Is this an ad at me? Because I'm
No, not at all.
Okay.
Tokusatsu fans weren't eating very good until the past few years.
There
so,
you go.
But yeah, with that, of course, Pop Sugar Podcast, if you want more listening content, they're great. They didn't put out an episode last week, so, hopefully...
Yeah.
Recording time. In recording time, their episode releases tomorrow. I assume that they still have one going. I haven't talked to them about it, so hopefully...
Yeah.
I know we look forward to it every week, and of course we had Dane on last episode. We love them.
I'll tell you what. Hey, if they fold, he's a free agent.
Oh, of course.
Call me Vince McMahon. He could be my Booker T.
Really? I was gonna say call me Tony Khan.
I was say he's got to be Booker T because Darian. I think that's what. Who will he be? Sting. We got him eventually, but we're not gonna get him right off the bat.
Oh, okay.
He's too high. He's too high-bred, but we can bring him. We can bring over Booker T. We can have Dane.
Okay. Of course, we have stuff coming up with them soonish. I think while you're on vacation.
Yeah.
They're covering for you. So
that'll be fun.
Yep, it'll be fun
with them.
Yep. If you want more updates on the podcast, you can always follow me everywhere at Capsack Young or follow the podcast at Kaiju and Comics on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
You can follow me at Bobby Williams Official on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And you can follow me around. I'm in the South Jersey area where I play. So I hope you enjoy.
Techie will be taking donations of sleeping pills, ZQuil, My Pillows, any kind of Tempur-Pedic that you have.
He's making fun of me because I fell asleep during this.
I don't mind you falling asleep. I'm actually impressed that you stayed asleep.
Yeah, I haven't felt good.
He went off. Like if you look in the Audacity file, you'll see a part where it's just up all the way.
They're
constant.
He'll take sleeping masks, sleeping caps, anything you got. He needs them.
Like he was screaming for a good
upset.
few minutes. So I'm surprised that you stayed asleep. Now, we know you're a bit sick. There ain't nothing for it.
Yeah. He's suffering through.
Yep.
He is a soldier.
Yep, we appreciate it
for you.
you.
I'm not cross about it.
Yep, but with that being said, I've been the Captain Comics.
And I've been your reluctant kaiju commander.
It's just the commander.
I am the kaiju commander.
Okay.
I'm not
And
just
this is
commander.
Tacky.
And we'll see you next week.